What's up, everybody? Today I want to do a video on something that no one talks about because it's stupid. Kind of just figured out there was a word for this, but I've been riding my setup like this for a little bit, but for some reason, at least for now, I really like it. It just comes down to having your trucks wider than the board. I ride a shaped board typically though, so it's just kind of odd. The whole thing's weird. But for some reason I kind of like it and can't get enough of it for now. I don't know if I'll not be into it in a month because sometimes that's how it goes. But I saw my friend Derek do this. I think he told me he rides an 8.5 with 9-inch trucks. And I've definitely seen people use it looks like you're just using the wrong trucks on your board, which I guess is true, but I think most people try to have it where your board is flush on the sides. Well, what I discovered the other day was that it's called a hot rod, and I always called it Frankenstein because the bolts sticking out, you can see through bolts usually. And the opposite, apparently, is a magic carpet. There is a Slap thread about this. If you want to find that, just Google or whatever, DuckDuckGo, or StartPay, who knows. Magic carpet versus hot rod slap message boards, and people talk about it. I think it's people mainly referring to slightly sticking out, like this video, his trucks are just sticking out a little bit more. Yeah, it's you get more stability and stuff. I kind of wrote a list that probably would be useful to go through. This is kind of the only place there's 4 pages of it. It's a pretty good thread. I think with a shape board, it's a little bit weird because you're going to have not the popsicle vibe. A popsicle vibe with an extreme underbite or whatever is going to look like a mega ramp board. This is going to look a little weird. I think if your trucks are really close together, it kind of looks more toy-like. I don't know. Take a video real quick, I suppose. What I'm riding right now is for my sponsor. It's a 9-inch board at the most, but it's a very, really heavy on the front part, and so the back part, the wheels totally stick out like crazy. And the front, not so much. So I'm riding, I actually just saw a pair of these on the Wheelbite1 account recently, which was surprising because I never see these things. They're by a brand called Bear Trucks, and the model is the Polar Bear. Basically a standard kingpin truck from a typically longboard truck-centric company. And I also have Slimeball 99A 50, they were 55 millimeters. So I'm not really running a super extremes setup, which I could be, but I just have been enjoying rolling faster. Sometimes I like the small wheels. I've done videos on small wheels before. It's a thing you get into, and then sometimes you're I feel like rolling. But also, smaller wheels make your board lighter and all that. I don't really know why I like it. It looks cool, but it also looks terrible. I really am having a hard time explaining it. I tried to write my thoughts down. I think why even talk about it is because maybe somebody else would have a similar experience and be into it randomly, because I don't think I would ever assume I would be into what's going on there. But anytime I think of changing my trucks, I'm what would I change them to? That's the not even just the best option I physically have, but just I have better options. Absolutely, I have Indy 169s, which would be perfect on that. So the Bear trucks they're marketed as 10-inch, but they're 9.75 inch. They're not a 10-inch. It's not a 215, an Indy 215. That would be really wide. If you're riding a 9.5-inch board, then 215s might be a similar vibe. So my whole thing was I was kind of assuming that I wouldn't be able to skate normally with them, and to some extent some days are like that, but I kind of was surprised by how I used to skate an 8 with just everything how you normally choose parts for a skateboard, like everything is normal. Granted, I used to do more flip tricks because of that. Like, it's definitely a deterrent from doing flip tricks, sure. But it's really not impossible. For like the longest time, by longest time I mean like 2 sessions, I was like, there's no way I can tray flip on this thing. And I think I like tried to do one kind of at a weird area of a local skate park of mine. It did that thing that happens when you try to switch tray and you can't switch tray, when it's just like not going to happen. But no, it's really like it's fine. I don't even think I needed to like learn how to. That was kind of like a weird one too. It wasn't really like, I don't know why I landed so far away and so slanted. I can literally spin them pretty normal. I do have to try like a little bit harder, obviously. Like, duh, it's gonna be a little harder. But I'm not the strongest person ever. And I was wearing like these Sperry's that I found for free that I put like normal skate like they're basically Vans Eras. Like, they're really thin and shitty and the soles like don't have that much grip. I don't know, like I wasn't not at all at like full power, full confidence at all, and I just like tried to like scoop it good, and then it worked. And now I'm like, oh, okay, sick, I can actually tray flip this. It's really not that hard. Nollie flips were also working. I haven't like tried every flip trick ever on it, but I think that was the one that I was like stoked on. I just like caught one really good. So that felt nice. That did take me a while, but before that, on another session, it was like, oh, I can flip nollie flips. I don't know if I actually feel like trying to jump on one. I'm not confident in nollie flips. But before this, I was like kick flipping stuff. So these trucks, I bought them for, my brain is so like everywhere. I bought these trucks for my Exilla 2 board, and they were just the cheapest ones that I could find. So you can find, I mean, I don't want to blow the spot up, but you can find these things for pretty cheap, to put it that way. And I found them, and I'm like, I don't care if they have like this weird notch in the hanger with like the bear skull. Like, who cares? What do I care, right? I'm not trying to look cool. Like, none of this, it's all dorky, so who cares? Yeah, you can do, they just flip around slower. I don't know. It's like, yes, it's harder to do, but also like I'm bad at things and I can still do it. And like kickflips are really not that hard. Granted, yesterday I like failed on 2 kickflips, but if I was really trying to, it's like part of its confidence, but it's really not. The only thing that was like weird that I haven't actually tried yet, it was scooping an impossible, and I'm like pretty bad. I do like the in-between trick a lot. It's really fun, but obviously, like, I feel weird filming them where you 3-shove, but it looks like you set up for an impossible. Looks like an accident trick. In my head, it's a 3-shove, but I know that it looks like I did it wrong. I could definitely do one of those. With this, I don't know if I could get any, like, wrap, because you can't, there's no, like, bend. Like, that was one of my points. Like, the downsides, you don't get like the roll over that you would get from a quote-unquote magic carpet that like tilts over when you want it to easily. So in contrast, before this I was skating like kind of the opposite. I was skating a bit of a magic carpet, like 825 thunder hangers on forged hollow indie base plates. So thindies, the pivot area was a little spacious, but they never like popped out. It was cool. They turned well. I just had like a good experience one time when I hadn't done a flip trick in like over the whole winter, right? And I just like went to tray flip and I just tray flip perfectly and didn't put that much effort into it. And I'm like, oh, these trucks rule. It was a trucks for sure. And so that's the thing. I don't know if I could do, but also like, what does it matter? I don't need to be able to tray flip first try. Like that. It's not, who cares? I think my only standard for boards typically is that I like to be able to tray flip on them if it's going to be a setup that I'm like actually skating a lot. If I'm skating it like it's my board, I need to be able to tray flip on it. I'm sure that I could get over that if I really wanted to, but For now and for the longest time, that's been like my quote unquote standard. But with wider trucks, I think this is a thing with anybody who skates like the really wide, like heroin boards with the slappy trucks and stuff. Like you're getting a lot of play with how far it's springing down. And like it's just very like kind of like mushy sometimes. You kind of have to use riser pads. I have like 1/8 inch riser pads on right now. Like doing the trick for sure. I tried to kind of like carve out a wheel well in the back just to see what would happen, and I think it made it. I don't know, like it made it better a little bit, because I can still like if I like press my whole heel into the board, just my weight, it'll go down to it. I'm just skating the stock bushings that came with these things, and they're pretty good. I have pretty low standards for bushings, so like I'll just skate whatever is happening. I will adjust the hell out of them, like to be how I want them to be, but I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, like I need to have. I just don't know what's good, and I haven't had like the madness for that ever. I'm definitely capable of it, but you're also gonna get less turning radius because your trucks are just wider, so your arc is gonna be less squirrely, and that's something where like I'm assuming ace and slappy turning. I forget how slappy turning is. Maybe it's similar to indies. I know aces from my experience, really turny. I thought they were more turny than indies. I've heard that indies are like the turniest of them all. I don't even know if indies come in a size that's like similar to mine. So I skated indies for the longest time. I'm like, they're fine, but I was kind of ready to try just anything else. I mean, like sometimes I'll try like thunder or stuff like that, and it's like there's no turning. I need like a little bit of turn so here's the thing with this type of setup. If it's like wide, even if it's just like a little bit wide, if like you skate like a 825 with 8.5 trucks or like 8.7, I forget what sizes things are. It's gonna feel weird at first, and you're gonna be like tic-tacking a little bit at first, and some of that probably sticks around. Like for this sport, I know there's sometimes when I feel like I'm really like forcing finesse and having to think about it a little bit more than average, which is kind of annoying because usually I like to just be like squirrel around. I mean, like I don't love loose trucks because it scares me a little bit. I like the idea of loose trucks. I like loose trucks in the moment when I'm turning, but for ankles and stuff, just keeping things a little bit mellow is nice for me. So I have noticed like I had to kind of remember how to kick turn without just feeling bad. Like I feel like style wise, if you're kick turning sometimes like tic-tacking around stuff and not really like sometimes you feel awkward, I suppose, is how I would say it. Yeah, they look pretty bad. I kind of like it though. Like that looks like a weird Mega Ramp board, but because that's the back. Because I'm riding Switch there. Oh yeah, there was this day. I think I was skating the Sperry's. The Sperry's have like that weird boat shoe sole where it's like a sneaker sole, but there's little waves in it. It's not really like tread. You don't really have that much grip, and they wear out quick because they're boat shoes. But I mean, like, okay, so my board is worn out. The grip, I've like patched it 2 or 3 times. I've moved the tail up a little bit, so I got like less leverage. The board is technically lighter than a new board, but how do I freaking? Oh my god, I don't know how to get all that. Okay, that's made it better. I was able to like ollie up this thing that I was kind of scared to ollie up before. I mean, like, I know I can do it because I've done stuff like that in the past. But to have like a heavy ass setup, I'm pretty sure I had the trucks on that day. No, I definitely did. The trucks and the wheels, because honestly, these wheels, I've always thought of them as like heavy wheels because they're 56s. And like, that's kind of like a high, I don't know, it's like mid-thigh. Like, for me, that's high. And it didn't happen first try. Like, I was like rolling around being like, for like a while, and like I messed up like probably 5, 6, 7 of them. Like actually popping them instead of chickening out. So to be able to do that with like technically the heaviest board I could possibly make out of the parts that I have, besides the board, because the board is like when I stack it up against another board this shape that's new, it's like maybe 3/4 of an inch less wood. So that is something. Oh yeah, the geometry. These trucks are genuinely weird though. I probably should like show that off really quick. Just in case you think they're like normal looking, like these are kind of like nerdcore trucks. They have this weird like truss in the bottom middle. I'm guessing that helps support axle. And then you have like this weird bend design in the base plate. Same in the back. It almost reminds me of like a gull wing. You have an 8-hole design, which is pretty cool, where you could use, it's like the Grind King lockers, where you could like shoot them up and down if you want a different wheelbase or a longer nose or something. I've never really messed around with that, because personally to me that's like way too much of a difference. I would rather drill my board and get it more exact, which I do all the time. Yeah, kind of a weird, and these are the stock bushings they come with, this weird kind of blue. When I bend them with my hand, they're pretty stiff, but in practice, with my clips, I'm like wiggling around a good amount visually. Like I'll be making little minor adjustments all the time. So that was kind of interesting to see that. The wider trucks did help with this trick for sure. Like just being able to get up that thing is like basically impossible to skate. It's hard to just say that without trying to skate it yourself. Like it's pretty hard. But because of all that truck, you're gonna like lock into stuff. I mean, I totally didn't even lock in near the top. It's very steep and very harsh. You scrape both ways, obviously. It's just a wall. It looks mellower on film though. It's funny. Isn't that how that always works? And without that, I would have had to get up a little higher. I wouldn't have felt as stable. I don't know. Yeah, grinding feels so cool. This clip is silly. Grinding just like feels, the lock-in feels amazing. And crooks and stuff feel like, I think somebody in that thread was talking about like, oh, Jamie Foy skates this kind of, or used to, and crooks do feel really good. Like I'm pretty sure I can bust out a front crook again after not doing one for like a very incredibly long time. Just because of that, like it's literally so much better. You have so much room to lock in and stuff. I feel like you could see the trucks in these clips. Yeah, so like those little micro adjustments, like those are big ass trucks. Why are they so big? Like it's monster trucks. That's the other word that I would use for this style as well, like monster truck. But hot rod makes a lot more sense, and the vibe of hot rod is kind of cool. It's like vintage weirdo freak skating. Yeah, it looks so bad. I think that's like a lot of the people in the thread were saying like, I just can't stand the way it looks, and valid. I kind of like, that looks horrible, but it's also awesome. Okay, so like in real life, when you're looking down at your board riding it, it's really cool to see your wheels sticking out. Like it's just like, it's so weird. Maybe part of all this is just like, it's just very naughty. It's just very like, not that I like things appeal to me because of that, but sometimes it's just like, yeah, you're not supposed to do this. Like this is screwed up. But I also feel like there's a element of extremity that's like, so the way that I kind of think about it is almost like it's like brutal. So it's almost like modifying your guitar or something to play like technical death metal, or like gore grind or something, or like modifying your equipment to just make it like that much more fucked up, I guess. I don't know how to explain that. There's something there though where it's like, it's just literally, it sounds so dumb. It's just more brutal. I don't know. That's the same clip. So I think part of it is that. Also, really dig the traditional kingpin as well, as opposed to, not even as opposed to, backwards. Longboard. Who makes these again? Freaking Polar Bear? No, Bear Trucks. It's part of like a longboard company or something. It's definitely not. Oh yeah, it's a land yachts company. That's awesome. I don't know. There's part of it also, like so in my head, okay, I'm like, oh, it's brutal. But it's not like punk rock brutal where you're like, oh yeah, all the cool people no, this is like nerdy. It is kind of like pretty technical death metal, huh? It's pretty tech death. Where it's like you kind of have to be a little nerdy and weird to be into it. So I think that's kind of why I don't mind the bear trucks as much as I don't know, it's just so deeply not cool. No offense. But it's really, really dumb. But I'm just like, I don't even like want to. So here's the thing: you could get like slappy trucks, you could get ace trucks, you could even get gullwing trucks. That's like similar level of nerdy, but still like sick skate history punk rock. If you got 10 inchers with a gullwing groove, I don't even know if they make those, but that would be really funny. I think partly what I was going to talk about was like the normal kingpin, because all that, like the ace and the slappy and all this, they're all like inverted kingpin, yeah, like all that core. And sometimes I feel like for one, yeah, cool, like old head, I'm an old head mentality, kingpin, oh yeah, that's the way it should look, blah, whatever. But also, like, Smith grinds are a little naughty, too. Like, everything about, like, some things in skating are kind of naughty. And obviously that is, like, a really cool trick. A nice Smith grind. Back Smiths look beautiful. Throughout skate history, Smith stops and Smith grinds are, like, one of the most beautiful looking tricks. But it's almost like you're almost not supposed to be able to do them, because you got that kingpin there, dude. Like, you're not supposed to be doing it so easily. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't care what you do. But there's something about that where I'm like, yeah, the kingpin on these trucks, I'm grinding that shit. Like, I feel it. It's not low. But also I don't care. That comes with the territory of breaking your trucks in, I suppose. In my head, obviously, sometimes you want to like make life easier for yourself, and like, who cares? I keep pressing arrow keys. I just want to see like how my trucks wobble. I feel like, was this the clip? Yeah, I'm not really wheel biting. Making little minor adjustments. I don't know. The bushings are just like that. I think that if you have like a wider truck, it's easier to tap the edge and have a response, but it's not going to be a big response. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Other things to keep in mind, I tried to make a list. It's not working really well. Yeah, wheel wells might be good for that. Yeah, it makes your board heavier, obviously. But if you're already skating a big board, maybe you don't care. Yeah, like the upsides are really like stability and grinds and lock-in and stuff. Also in that thread, I saw somebody say like you're not going to primo that easily, perfectly. I have like a video that I took the other day of just like grinding and stuff. The vibration of stuff is totally different. I noticed that the first time that I skated my egg board, obviously, because you have a massive egg-shaped plank of wood. But I could also feel the truck vibration being different, which is kind of like, I'm kind of into that. It's like a lower, it's literally more brutal. It's like you got a fifth or sixth string on your bass that's even lower and more nasty and like more fucked up sounding. A weirder grind. It's like it's kind of behind your the lock-in point's a little bit not where you'd want it to be, I guess, in the back. I feel like frontside grinding It's just not where I learned how to do them, where it's like right under your heel, I guess. Like you kind of have like a intuitive pocket. Same with backside grinds. I've had to, specifically my backside 5-0 grinds have suffered, but I think it's just more of like a practice thing because sometimes I'll do them and I'll just have my foot in the wrong place and I'll just like pinch my wheel into the board because the trucks are big and the bushings aren't. Maybe I was watching a Leon Paxton video the other day where he was like, I found the perfect bush. That's my Australian accent. That's good. I found the perfect bushing, and it's Bones hardcore. Well, he's like heavier than I am. Like skating hard bushings and like maybe like having them like a little loose, so there's a little stop gap between your where you want it to stop. I don't know. I just haven't. I don't care. To me, I'm just like I'll just do it better and get used to it and whatever. It'll be the way it is. The front 5-0s, like stand up 5-0 grinds, are totally fine for some reason. I'm aware that it's like behind. It's not behind my foot, but it's like more behind my foot than I'm used to. More behind my heel, like the axis of balance that you're like tilting. It's just a little bit back, but I can still hold them and it's fine. And I did some the other day backside that was like, okay, because before that I would go up to do it and just like pinch and be like, literally, what am I doing with my life? Like I used to love doing that trick. So some things will be different if you do this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, is this for anybody? Does anybody actually want to do this? I don't know. I think it's funny, and randomly it ended up being like, oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, see like the little truck shift? It's like that's what you're going to be dealing with wide trucks. You're going to be dealing with a lot of press down. So, but also, it just looks cool, I think. Or it looks like screwed up. It looks wrong. It looks like you chose the wrong parts for your skateboard setup. I don't know. Dude, I'm so like, am I literally going to be into this next month? Like, because sometimes I'll do things like this. It is what it is. Oh, I did it on my fingerboard too. Yeah, just like screwed up shape, screwed up trucks. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me. Just like, it's weird. But my friend Derek's been doing it for years on popsicles. Just like feel it grinds better. I feel like I tried his board once and I was like, oh yeah, this is sick. It just is cool. It looks disgusting and everything's harder. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Like maybe now that I talked about it, I'll be over it. But I don't know what else I'd put on my board. I don't really feel like skating indies. I kind of just feel like skating these things for like a few years. And these are my trucks. Bear trucks. No one's heard of that. It's awesome. And the big wheels too. The big wheel, like I don't know, it's dope. It's a good vibration. Like literally and figuratively, I suppose. It just looks gross. Like I think someone in the thread was like, yeah, from straight on, it looks crazy, which is accurate. In clips and stuff, you're like, what are you doing? I don't know. But at least I'm interested in it, right? Like at least like I'm having a moment where I'm like, I do this thing where I look at my board sometimes for long periods of time. I used to do it as a kid all the time. It's just fun to like look at all the new grinds you did that day. It's a good pastime, and I found myself being like excited to look at my board because of these freaking massive. They're not 10-inch trucks, but they almost are. 10 inches would be a little too much for a 9-inch shape. Like, especially so on the tail, I feel like it goes down to like 8.5 over the wheel wells on the back end, and I feel like you want to have, you don't want too much, or maybe you do, dude. Maybe you do. I don't know. This is a weird one. Uh, yeah, hot rod. I didn't. I kind of briefly looked it up, and on here at least, and like nobody was talking about like hot. Like, dude, it's like so not a thing that anybody does because it's so stupid. Like, it's not a normal thing to do. And I don't. I literally. I guess I do know why. I have explained why. There's not much benefit besides just like being obsessed with it. What else am I supposed to do? Oh, this benefits me better, but I hate looking at it. Like, okay, like I hate looking at this for a different reason because it's funny and but also kind of like sick, dude. All right, fuck this video. I hate everything. Okay, have fun. Try it. Bye.